Buckeyes and Beyond. Here are your hosts, Jeff and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to Buckeyes and Beyond, our 7th episode of, I think everything's been in 2020 because the first one was the Fiesta Bowl. So welcome back. Thank you for listening. We haven't accumulated that many listeners, but we're also just trying to get better at this.
Yeah.
So we're trying to work on this in the off season, so we get this podcast really finely tuned for the 2020 football season. So again, thanks for listening. Welcome back, and we're at Buckeyes and Beyond on YouTube, our channel at Beyond Buckeyes on Twitter. My name is Jeff. This is Mike.
What's up, everybody?
So we're going to cover a few things today. I'm not sure how long this podcast will go. Probably not as long as our previous episodes because, again, it's the off season and we're just struggling to watch Buckeye basketball and
really
muddling through that and just trying to there's not a whole lot of recruiting news this week. Maybe one thing, a couple things, but not a lot of news going on. So we'll see. We'll see how long it goes. Maybe it'll be more Beyond than Buckeyes. Who knows?
Yep. Could very well be that.
So we're going to go over the game we just struggled to watch, and also the recruiting tidbit, and also we're going to go over the game number 2 of the 2019 season.
Yeah, which I actually, when I put the update out on the Twitter account, I put down that it was actually against Miami, but I was wrong. It wasn't against Miami. It was against Cincinnati. So.
Yeah. So it was the Cincinnati game last year. So I saw that and I didn't even think anything of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there really wasn't much to that game, but we can actually get into it later.
Yeah. So, So, first topic is the Ohio State basketball game. They drop one to Wisconsin, 70-57. Ohio State now is 15-8, 5-7 in the conference. Wisconsin moves up to 14-10. I mean, their season overall is not great.
No.
I mean, they're both bubble teams.
Yeah, that's putting it really kindly for us. I mean, I don't know if we're even going to make the tournament. It's really up in the air right now.
Yeah, the Big Ten's just cannibalizing itself. I mean, you got 12 teams, 5-7 in the conference or better. Everyone's between 9-3 at the top of Maryland in the conference. They're 19-4 overall.
Right.
All the way down to Michigan, 5-7, 14-9 overall. Usually, I mean, let's see, 14-9. They probably have 9 more games left.
Approximately, yeah.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. So I think last week when we looked at the rest of the schedule, we didn't really count this one as a win. So.
No. I mean, I sure didn't. I didn't think that it was going to be this bad, but I didn't think that they were going to win this game. So
yeah, there's not that. I mean, you look at the schedule and the way they've been playing. I mean, they won 3 in a row.
Right.
So we knew the other shoe was going to drop eventually.
Yeah,
so today
absolutely.
was the day they sucked ass today.
Yeah, it was bad.
So,
so bad.
So So there's no surefire. You can't. I mean, you can only just go. Yeah, I guess I could see him winning that at home, maybe.
Yeah,
that's the way it kind of looks like.
They have a really good home record, so you really got to kind of figure any game that they have at home is probably going to be a pretty good chance to win. But I mean, there's even a couple of those games at home that are left that I don't know if they're even going to win them. They're so inconsistent, man. They're all over the place. They're not a tournament team. They just don't look like one.
No, they're tough to watch. They have, to me, they just don't have a true point guard. They don't have an identity. They just don't have any grit. They don't have any character. They're soft at times. I mean, they played the first 30 minutes of this game without going to the free throw line more than twice.
Yeah,
and once. Those 2 free throws on 1 appearance at the line.
Yeah, and that was late in the second half. Well, I don't know about late in the second half, but it was probably about midway through the second half that they actually made it to the free throw line.
So it was 38-20 at halftime. They actually had more turnovers.
They had more turnovers than they did field goals in the first half. They had 9 turnovers and 8 field goals, which is that is appalling. There's no need for that.
It's downright
Absolutely
pathetic.
none.
So they let a 16-0 run in the half.
Yep.
They didn't score for 4.5, 5 minutes to end the first half.
No. I mean, when you look at them, man, I mean, everything that I wrote down for this game it's been following them for this streak of games. I mean, more turnovers than field goals, which I talked about. They live and die by the three, which is, I don't know why Holtman is still letting those guys chuck up those threes, man.
And there's just nobody on this team that's just a sharpshooter.
No. I mean, Arns we thought could, but as we both talked about during the game, he's such a liability on defense. My God.
Yeah, he shot one time. He shot, and it was, I don't know where it was from. It wasn't a three.
No.
He had one field goal attempt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he was terrible on defense. They couldn't keep him in.
No, I mean, he it was 3 different plays. He got caught flat-footed every single time. It had no way. They just blew right by him every single time.
Yeah, he almost looked like he was so bad that they just started almost targeting him.
Yeah,
So
they really did.
Who's Arns got?
Yeah.
Just give it to him.
And just
wherever
go,
he is.
Yeah, and just go to the hole because
Yeah.
he just plays flat-footed.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So, so I mean, you can't be a guy who's going to be like some 3-point specialist and be terrible on defense.
No.
It's kind of just cancels the whole purpose of you being in the game.
Yeah, it absolutely does. In fact, I think we even kind of touched on it a bit. There are guys who that is their whole game. They are a sharpshooter, but they play outstanding defense. I mean, that's what they call them. I don't remember what it was.
Or the classic example is Bruce Bowen.
Yeah, Bruce Bowen.
Played it for the Spurs for so many years.
Yeah, I mean, he was a 3-point sharpshooter, but he played lockdown defense, man. You couldn't score on him.
Another guy in the league is J.J. Redick.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean...
You got to serve some other purpose rather
Right.
than just, I stand out here.
Yeah, and I just wait for the ball, and I just shoot threes. Well, that's great, but you got to be able to play defense if you're going to do that. Arns was a total liability in the first half and even into the second half, I think. Caleb Wesson, I mean, if you want to take the lead on him, because he's been a thorn in your side forever, so...
Yeah, I don't get, I mean... I just don't see any competitive fire with that guy.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, he's 6'9", what do you think he's 250 now or 240?
I guess, yeah, because he was pushing three bills last year.
Yeah. So they probably had his weight listed lower than it was, but the guy's not any quicker. I don't think it doesn't even frickin' matter because I don't think he has any competitive fire.
No.
I mean, he's out there acting like he's Larry Bird. I mean, Larry Bird didn't even. I mean, that's a bad comparison, but he's out there thinking he's like Dirk Nowitzki.
That's a probably better one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there like spotting up. He's rolling. He's like doing a pick and then he's popping.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you can't pop. Like, you roll.
Yeah.
And that's it. Stop popping. Like, he's popping constantly now.
Yeah.
He's not even around the rim.
And teams let him shoot it.
Yeah.
Because he's so bad at it. It just, there's
like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no threat. That,
what are you going to do, 1 for 5?
I'll take that.
Yeah.
If you're going to shoot 1 for 5.
And he's away from the rim. He has 6 freaking rebounds the whole game.
And he does not, we talked about this too, he does not high point that ball. He waits for it. And that's stuff that you learn in middle school, man, to high point the ball. Don't stand flat-footed and wait, or stand on your tippy toes and wait for the ball. It's awful.
Yeah, he played 27 minutes. He's only fouled twice. They must have pulled him out of the game because
they pulled him out late in the first half because he had 2 fouls.
He had 2, and then he didn't foul the rest of the game.
Yeah, which was kind of shocking.
Like 2 points, 4 points at halftime.
He had
finished
4
with 8 in the game.
It's awful
for a star player, supposed to be who our offense revolves around, according to Holtman at one point.
So frustrating. Why would you?
At one point, our offense went through Caleb Wesson, according to Chris Holtman.
Yeah, and I think they still tried to at some point, and I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense to do that. But I mean, I guess I do kind of understand it because we don't have a true point guard to really run the offense through. So
no, we don't. C.J. Walker is just. I mean, he's a 2 guard in a point guard's body.
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't really. I don't know. He doesn't seem to know what he's. He misses guys on pick and rolls. He misses guys cutting. He just doesn't, or he just gives it up. He just gives it up. They're just like doing they're just weaving at the top.
Yeah.
For accomplishing nothing.
CJ Walker. We talked during the game, and I wrote this down too. Their pick and roll is non-existent because you have guys. Liddell multiple times picked and rolled, and he was wide open, and nobody got him the ball.
No.
It was now the only bright spot in this game was him. EJ Liddell played a great game, and he was rolling multiple times, and Walker didn't even look at him. He didn't even try to get him the ball. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. They it'll be nice if Carton can make his way back, and then CJ Walker played 36 minutes.
Oh, God. He is not a 36-minute player. He's 20 to 25.
He had more turnovers than assists. 2 for 8. I mean, 9 points.
And that's a normal game for him, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he does every single game.
Yeah. So Caleb Wesson, 2 of 11. I mean, Andre Wesson started the game off well, and then he missed his last 4. He shot 4 times in the second half and missed all 4.
Yeah, he's so up
he was
and
the
down.
high scorer at 11, and he didn't even score in the second half. I think he went to the line and hit 2 free throws.
Yeah, that's
2 in the second half.
That's awful.
So I mean, Kyle Young seemed to be off this game.
Kyle Young had, if you look at the first 10 or 11 games between then and now, it's two completely different teams, man. The first 11 games. Now the big difference is they shot the ball extremely well in those first 10 or plus games. And since the West Virginia game, since that game, they've just completely been a totally different team, and it's not good. It's awful.
Yeah, Micah Potter, he was out there for Wisconsin. Micah Potter, yeah, and he's averaging 9 and 6 this year.
Yeah, we could
over
really use him.
50%.
Yeah.
So, he probably enjoyed winning.
I'm sure he did.
For
those that actually don't know, he was a Buckeye who transferred out.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he's a junior this year. He's 6'10", 250. So his brother's playing for Ohio State's football teteam. Noah Potter.
Yeah.
But I think he was a true freshman this year, so I don't know if he'll redshirt. But so
do you want to move on to the defense, which was also bad? They're bad on defense, man.
Yeah. They're trouble just rotating.
Yeah.
And switching and just getting beat.
I don't know how many wide open shots that they had. Wisconsin shot the ball well. I mean, you do have to actually give them credit for that. But a lot of their shots were there was nobody in front of them, man. They just had wide open looks all game. It was atrocious.
Yeah, and there's a couple times where guys are just getting bodied and down. I mean, like, how are you letting that guy run through you, just bodying you up like that?
Yeah, there was a play, I think it was in the second half. Liddell was covering down in the post, and I don't know who it was for Wisconsin, but he drove him down there in the post, turned, and just backed him down with ease, and there was no pushback at all. He just kept on giving ground. He turned around and he had an easy bunny, and that's how it was the whole game.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I saw one person on Twitter, I forget who it was, just said this team is just so unlikable.
Yeah.
And basically, that's it. They just don't have any character. They don't show you anything that is like that gives you any sort of idea of like great effort and grit and like toughness. Like, at least try to be tough. Like, just like fight. There's just like, they seem like they get down if anything doesn't go their way. They just have no ability. They're down 18 at halftime.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough, but the way they're shooting and all that.
Yeah.
But this team, they could be down 10, and I'm going, I don't know.
That's it. Yeah. If they get down 10, you almost feel like that is insurmountable for them because there's no toughness. And you're absolutely right. So even if you shoot the ball poor and play mediocre defense, if you're tough, if you're a tough team, you can still keep your team in the game somehow. Yeah. But to have all those things, to not be tough and have all those things, there's just no way to even win. So yeah, so even if you're tough, at least that would be your team identity. Is you're a tough team. You don't give in. You don't give up. And you can win games like that. But there's no identity on this team whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yeah, I mean, here's a good indicator. Just the ball movement on offense. And Wisconsin had 17 assists. Ohio State 7. 14 turnovers to 7 assists. Yeah, almost the opposite for Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that's such a clear evidence that they play too much iso ball. There's way too many guys that are just getting the ball and chucking it up. And I would be okay if they wanted to drive to the hole, but you don't even see that. I mean, it's like a quick dribble, crossover, and then a long jump shot. That's what it is.
Yeah, C.J. Walker got to the hole a couple times late, but it was like, yeah, finally, now we're down 20.
Yeah.
You're doing what you're supposed to do the whole game.
Yeah.
Same with Wesson. Like, he finally got in the paint, was acting like he gave a shit.
Yeah.
And got into the paint, and was like 30 minutes into the game.
Way too late. All the stuff that they did was way too late. It was, too little too late.
We're on 20.
Yeah.
Now you're going to try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense, man.
At this point, there's no chance in hell for Caleb Wesson to be in the NBA.
I said that he may get a small look by somebody just based off of his size, but I don't know if he's even going to do that. Yeah, but I don't think he's even going to make a NBA roster. Especially the way that the game is played now.
Yeah.
He just doesn't fit.
Yeah, he can go play some international ball and shoot all the threes he wants.
Yeah.
He can go line up next to Jonas.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
I'm just thinking of some Euro.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking. Never mind. I thought you were talking about somebody else who was on the top of my head.
Yeah, he can play the center next to Luka Valanciunas, like in the Greek league,
But there's really no shame in that, though. I mean, there's been a lot of guys. I mean, in fact, I think Diebler is still playing in Turkey. There's no shame in that. There's a lot of guys, but if your goal is to be in the NBA, then you can't play the way that he does because you're not going to make it. So
there's just a lot of times where you don't see he gets up, he's just whining to the ref. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, get up off the floor. He especially does it. It's more infuriating when he does it during a live ball.
It's live ball.
Yeah,
totally. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, get your ass up and get back in the game, man. Stop, lay on your back and whine to the refs.
Yeah, you see the rebound that falls on his lap. He's not even like jumping forward. It's like, how old are you?
Yeah, it's like that stuff that you learn in middle school. High point the ball, jump, use your feet.
And of course, stop whining to the refs. He's lay down there and looking for a foul, and
shut up, stop.
Golly, just not even a likable player.
No, he's very, very frustrating.
I'll be glad when he's out of here.
Yeah, he's not doing us any good.
Yeah. All right. Buckeye basketball 2020.
Yeah, that's about what it is. That about sums it up.
We'll keep covering them, I guess.
It's
through February.
Yeah, the off season. We can cover them into March, but I don't think that they're even going to be a very good team in the tournament.
It's not a good season when you're like, when's the NFL Combine?
Yeah, that's really what we're looking forward to now. Which Buckeyes got the big invite to the Combine? Let's see what that was. I don't know which Buckeyes got the invite.
When's the Combine? Late Feb.
Yeah.
So, counting the days. Yeah. So, all right. So, moving on to Cameron Martinez, the latest 2020 commit out of Muskegon, Michigan. 5'11", 185 185-pound athlete.
Yeah.
So they really don't know for sure where they're going to play him.
No, I've heard they originally recruited him to play defensive back, either safety or corner. They weren't sure yet. And now at Ryan Day's press conference for National Signing Day, which isn't really, so he was talking that they're going to look at him for both sides of the ball. And because they only got one running back in this class, they may move him into a running back spot too. So, they just don't really know yet.
Yeah, Minnesota was hot on him, and so was
Notre Dame. I thought was at one point they were trying to make a push for him.
I'm on 24/7, and they act like only got 5 teams listed here. And
yeah, he. So I think when he didn't sign in December with like everybody else that did, I think Notre Dame tried to, throw their hat in the ring for him and see if they could, get a late push for him. But
oh wait, here we go. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he had a lot of offers.
Okay. Yeah.
They just had they had Michigan and.
Well, of course, Michigan, I'm sure, was going to try to offer him.
Yeah, let's see. Notre Dame, they were in there.
Yeah.
They had 2 coaches recruiting him. Iowa offered him.
It just seems like
Florida State.
Oh, okay, wow. So then he did get some offers from the South. I thought that maybe he was more of a regional guy. Okay.
Penn State. I was looking to see anything SEC.
Okay.
Kentucky.
Well, yeah, but they're not. I don't know if they really count as the SEC.
They're getting better.
Yeah, slowly.
So Cameron Martinez. Yeah, they talk about maybe we can play him both ways. They really don't need to do that.
No, there's not a need. In fact, I don't know if that's even really the best thing for him to do, especially if you're gonna. Especially for someone who's never played defense ever.
Oh, right.
He's never played defense. So, because I think he was a quarterback, right?
We also saw him catch some balls.
Yeah.
So
he's just a really good athlete. So if you are going to have him play defense, it's better suited to just have him focus on that completely. To have him play both sides of the ball when he's never done that before that's going to be a tough call for him to do.
Yeah, so he was the state's player of the year. He's Mr. Football this year in Michigan. Number 14 athlete overall in the nation.
Okay.
Passed. See here. It's like he passed for 1,258 yards.
Yeah, that's not that much.
Ran for over 2,000.
Okay, yeah. So he was a running quarterback.
Yeah. While accounting for 47 touchdowns. Wow, he helped Muskegon to 3 state championships.
He's
got him to 3 state championship games, and they won one of them in his career.
Okay.
Still getting there 3 times.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's pretty good.
26-2 as a starting quarterback. Owns single game records for rushing yards 352 and touchdowns 6.
Jeez.
Single season rushing record 2,500 yards and as a junior.
That's insane.
Rushing.
That's ridiculous.
In his 52-game high school career, Martinez finished with 6,954 rushing yards, which is 11th most on the Michigan High School Athletic Association's all-time list and second among quarterbacks. Who's first?
Oh, yeah, that's really what I would like to know. Who the hell's first on that list?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
I think he's definitely going to be a great football player for us. I just don't want him to, overwork him and have him play both sides of the ball. The last one to do that was who? Gamble?
Gamble.
Yeah. And, he did it really well, but it just didn't really...
That was almost because we needed him.
Yeah.
We didn't have as many great athletes.
Right. Yeah.
So we had to have him. Yeah. So.
But yeah, he signed. That was the only signee that we had on national quote signing day. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and go cover the second game of the 2019 season. We'll talk about that a little bit. And yeah, think. I didn't hear any news on like anything 2021.
No, it's been fairly quiet. I mean, the Buckeyes still have the number 1 class for 2021, but it's still really early. So
yeah. So we can talk about that some other time. We got plenty of episodes to go in the off season.
Yeah, we got a lot of them left.
So did they announce when the spring game was?
I don't know if they've actually done that yet. It's always in April. I just don't know when in April. They may not have done that yet. So
they have.
Oh, they have. Okay.
April 11th.
Oh, okay, April 11th.
Yep.
Okay.
Spring drills the week of March 2nd.
Okay.
So they get about 5 weeks of practice.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
April 11th.
Yeah. So we get to see some of these great freshmen for the first time, which this is probably going to be one of the most anticipated spring games in a long time.
Yeah.
Because we finally get to see all these great freshmen that we've signed and see what they can do. So.
Yeah, that'll be one that's worth going to.
Yeah, I may actually make the trip to that one because I haven't gone to one in a long time.
No, me neither.
So
I mean, no matter if it's flag football or
we should maybe we could do like a live broadcast from the spring game, man. Yeah. There you go, to a live broadcast.
So April 11th. So not sure when tickets will go on sale. No ticket information yet.
Okay.
So probably they'll probably do
mid-March or something.
Yeah, they don't. It's not that early. For tickets.
and they don't usually sell out that fast, but this one might sell out. I'm not sure.
Tickets go on sale actually on Thursday.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, what's that?
They don't normally go on sale that early, I don't think.
Yeah, 13th. Yeah, 13th Thursday.
Well, if so, I guess that's crazy.
General admission tickets will be $5 with a limited number of $15 reserved club seats.
Yeah, those are the
6 and under are free.
Really?
So if you feel like taking your small child,
if you want to deal with your small child during the spring game, he gets in free.
Just know that you will not watch that much.
You won't be able to watch much of the spring game because you'll be worried about your small child running around.
And he'll want to get ice cream and popcorn, and
that's where you lose all of your money.
Can we get ice cream now?
Oh, jeez.
Do they put it in a football? Only at the Clippers game. You get a baseball helmet, ice cream.
God, I haven't gone to a Clippers game in forever, too.
Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah, I know. The last Clippers game that I went to, if we just want to transition for just a quick second, because it was actually pretty scary. I had never been to a baseball game where you sit right near where all the foul balls get hit. So I was working for somebody at the time who had season tickets to the games, and they gave me 4 tickets for I don't know who they were playing, but they were seats right behind the visitors' dugouts down like the third baseline.
Yeah.
And it's scary sitting down there, man, because there's no net, there's no nothing, and if a foul ball comes, you got to be on your toes. Mm-hmm. So it's a little scary, sitting down there. So. Yeah,
I've been sitting down along the right field line.
Oh, okay.
Down there a little further away, and they do have that net, that netted wall now.
Oh, okay.
That extends over the dugouts.
Oh, okay.
So and along maybe down the line just a little bit.
Okay.
So because for those screamers.
Yeah, because this was at least 6-7 years back. Yeah, so they probably put it in since then. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there too many things happened since then.
Yeah.
So in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
That made them put that in play. And thankfully, I mean, we have baby televisions in our pockets, and
so
people are like ADHD, ADD, like more than ever. I mean, people are just like checking their phones.
Yeah, especially during a minor league game. I mean, they don't really want to pay that much attention to it, and it's because the Clippers is more about like a family thing. Yeah, to where you can bring your kids, especially because they have that really nice section out in like center field or right field where it's just grass, or just So I mean, that's actually kind of nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. All right. So back on. I don't know what day it was, but anyway, back in September, Ohio State played a home game against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Luke Fickell brought his Bearcats in, and Luke Fickell's from here. He went to DeSales High School in Columbus. Mm-hmm. He graduated. He was an excellent college football player here, nose tackle, defensive tackle here at Ohio State, and number 99, and played in the 90s under John Cooper.
Yep, some of my fondest Buckeye memories that I can. So as far back as I can remember, some of my earliest ones were of him. Because it was early 90s, I think, is when he was here, right? Yeah,
I thought it was the middle.
It could have been middle.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter, but I mean, he was a great football player, really good one. Him and Matt Finkus were the two, nose guys. So,
yeah.
Fickle
92 to 96.
Okay. Yeah. Fickle and Finkus.
Yeah. He started a school record at the time, 50 consecutive games.
Wow.
For a nose tackle of 93 to 96.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Jeez.
Yeah. So Ohio State, obviously, and he coached here. So obviously, it's he has a soft spot for Ohio State, obviously, and he said that coaching in that game was really hard.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was. I mean, I think if I remember back to his pregame interview, I don't remember his exact words, but you could tell that he really didn't want to be there. It was it was really hard for him because this game was already scheduled, years. So I mean, he had nothing to do with us scheduling this game. So
So remember, who was the Cincinnati coach before him? Tuberville?
Tuberville was there. Brian Kelly was there before. I don't know who was there before him. I know that Tuberville and Brian Kelly. I don't think it was Brian Kelly. It might have been Tommy. I think that you're right. It was probably Tuberville who was there prior to him. I mean, they've had some pretty decent coaches that have actually come through there. So
Tuberville.
Okay, yeah.
End of the 2016 season.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Google machine
came
through. So this one was 42 to nothing. The second game of the season, Ohio State was number 5 at the time.
Yeah.
Cincinnati was not ranked.
Right. But they went on to have a pretty good season.
Yeah. Let's see, would they?
I think this
11-3.
Yeah. Okay. Because for a long time, this was their only loss. I mean, I don't think they lost until late in the season. So.
Yeah. Their season went. Yeah, they ran off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row.
In fact, I think their other 2 losses were both to Memphis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they finished the season 2. Their final regular season game at Memphis lost 34 to 24. And then the following week, the conference schedule, they lost 29 to 24.
Wow.
So, and then they went on to the bowl game, Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah.
Kicked ass.
Yeah.
Boston College beat them 38 to 6.
They beat, or
did I say that? What did I say? They beat Boston College 38 to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they put a hurt on them. So the Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah.
So, going back, they had special teams. Ohio State had good special teams plays in this. It was kind of like an all-around game.
Yeah, they blocked a field goal.
Yeah, blocked the field goal. JK had 441 yards, 2 TDs, 17 carries. Justin Fields, 20 of 25 for 224.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson got his first touchdown as a Buckeye.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of left corner of the end zone, 9 yards.
It was a pretty catch, too.
Yeah, it kind of, he mossed him.
Yeah.
You got mossed. So, Dobbins, a couple TDs, including a 60-yarder.
Yeah, which was a really pretty run.
Yeah, so a lot of guys, KJ, not JK, but KJ.
Yeah, KJ.
He got a touchdown early in the fourth quarter before they pulled everybody. 500 yards of offense for Ohio State. Cincinnati turned it over a couple times. Their quarterback could never really ever get going.
No, the defense played really well.
Yeah. Desmond Ridder for Cincinnati, 13 of 20 for 166, which actually sounds better than what it looked like.
Yeah, it just didn't look very good.
Did he come out of that game for a little bit?
Yeah, I think he got knocked out by Chase Young on a sack or something, and they had to bring somebody else in.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if he even came back in the game. I don't remember. But yeah, but I know for sure that he actually did get knocked out of the game.
So yeah, it was 28-0 at halftime. Luke Fickell said after the game, we got our absolute butts whipped. So
it was also a pretty penalty-free game too. The Buckeyes only had 2 of them, so which is that was one of the things that the Buckeyes did have a little bit of a problem with throughout the season, is they had too many penalties, but they only had 2 in this game. So the defense held them. I believe they held Cincinnati to under 100 yards total rushing. So
yeah. I know Desmond Ritter after the game said that they couldn't get anything going on the ground. That's usually what they're a run first team. I think their main running back is that Michael Warren.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay.
And he only had like 10 carries for. He had over 1,200 yards on the season, and in that game he only had 10 carries for 15 yards.
Oof! Wow.
Yeah,
that's great.
So they couldn't get anything going against the first team defense.
No.
Overall, the whole team had 34 carries for 107 yards.
Oh, okay. So it was just
it's rough.
Yeah. So
in contrast, Ohio State had 46 carries on the game for 270. So it's Dobbins 141, Master Teague was 60, Justin Fields he had 42 yards, Steele Chambers got a couple carries, McCall got 5 carries, Crowley got a carry late in the game.
Chambers, all those guys are they're really gonna have a shot this year. Yeah.
So it was one of many games where they got a lot of second and third team guys in.
Yeah.
So a lot of reps.
So this game is really one of the best examples that you can use of how important it is to get those guys all those reps, because we had some times later in the season where we needed some guys to actually step up, and it's these kind of games where some fans may say, man, this is a really boring game. And yeah, I mean, it probably was, but it's really important to some of those guys to really get in there and get some actual time. So, I mean, it's a really important game in that aspect.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the season, that was number 2 on the season, 2-0. So
really wasn't much to this game. It was,
Yeah, it was one of those games where I thought it was going to be, going into it, I remember thinking, maybe they'll, maybe a little battle for, first half or something. It might be a 10-point game or something. But I was surprised that, Cincinnati couldn't even score. I mean, they had a couple chances. It missed a field goal, but then late in the game against like the second or third teamers, they fumbled one.
Fumbled one going right into the end zone. So
so they couldn't buy a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean they got close. In fact, the time of possession was actually pretty close. So they spent a lot of time on the field driving, and they had 2 shots. Where they were really close, and then they had the blocked field goal, and then the fumble as they were going in. So
so that's about it.
For that game.
Yeah, for this game.
Much else.
Not a whole lot to go over left over for this episode, so we'll just end it here. I mean, do we got something you want to?
Do you want to talk about Dantonio?
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I didn't. How did I jot that down?
I don't know.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
So Mark Dantonio resigned from Michigan State this week.
Yeah.
And the way he did it was probably the worst part, where it was just like he just put something out on Twitter, acting like he was just like everybody expected it, like all he owed anybody was just a Twitter post.
Yeah.
So
it was really an awful way to do that, and especially, was it the day before National Signing Day or the day of? It was either the day of or the day prior to it. I don't remember, but it just, the whole timing of it is just bad. There's no other way to put it. You just could not have timed it worse.
Yeah, so there's allegations that he was given like preferential treatment, also just turning a blind eye to sexual assault charges against players. Yeah,
there's been 16 players since 2007 who have had sexual assault or sexual battery charges. 4 of the players were released last year. And every single allegation has been investigated by the athletic department and not the East Lansing police. So that all by itself is really questionable as to why the AD is not letting the police department have a hand in the investigation.
Yeah, there's a Dantonio. He's like a subject of a lawsuit filed by a guy who was a staff member of Michigan State, Curtis Blackwell.
Right.
He's seeking more than $5 million in damages for wrongful termination. So in the complaint, in the lawsuit, he alleges that Dantonio, who spent the last 13 years at Michigan State, committed multiple NCAA recruiting violations.
Yeah.
So all this going on, and then he resigns. Now they went 3-9, 7-6, 7-6 the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just based on that, they're kind of like not kind of fledgling, just kind of like, but and then on top of this, it looks real bad. Yeah,
this program is in serious trouble right now. They're it's these allegations are, they're not funny, but I mean, you sort of laugh at how the last few years he's just completely destroyed this entire program. I mean, it's just gone from bad to I can't believe that it's gotten this. It's just terrible. So and to just resign the way that he did, it's cowardly, which is how Valenti had actually put it too. I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, it's awful,
Yeah. Another allegation in there. He's orchestrated employment for the parents of 2 Michigan State football players with the school's mega donor Bob Scandalaris.
Wow.
Additionally, the suit claims Blackwell accompanied Dantonio on an in-home visit for a 5-star recruit when Blackwell wasn't authorized to conduct an off-campus visit. Dantonio is serving as a witness in the case and refuted these allegations in a January 10th deposition. Lawyers for Dantonio have called the allegations not only false but totally gratuitous. Like the whole orchestrating employment for parents of recruits has been going on.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, that happens probably
a lot
with every program. Well, I don't know about every, but it happens quite a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that by itself is not a huge deal. But
it makes you wonder, like, Saban owns a Mercedes dealership.
Yeah.
How many times he's, gotten employment for
some
family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure that stuff happens. It's it's getting to the point, and we don't have to talk about this now, but the times are changing so much to where because of the new law that was passed. So I mean, that stuff's really not even going to be that's really not even.
The one you're talking about is the likeness,
right? Yeah. Which is just like the first step to where to where these kids are going to be able to make money, which is fine. I mean, I don't have any problem with that,
And then most importantly, we might be able to get our NCAA
games
back.
We'll get NCAA football back forever, which EA Sports is in the game. Yeah. But no, so I mean, it's that all by itself is really not a big deal, but all this other stuff, man. Dantonio is just he has literally set them back at least 4 or 5 years.
The icing on the cake, the cherry on top of all this, is he received a $4.3 million longevity bonus.
Yeah.
From the university on January 16th.
He took his money and then he ran. That's so cowardly, man. I mean, because this isn't something where you just wake up and say, I think I'm just going to not coach. This is something where you've had to have been thinking about this for some time.
Yeah.
And to just take your big $4.3 million in January and then like a couple weeks later you just quit. That's not something where you just took the money and then thought about it. You've been thinking about this for some time.
He went for his he took 2 weeks PTO. And then he told his one boss, he told his immediate boss,
yeah,
that he put in for a PTO, like a 2-week vacation, his paid time off that he had in the bank, and then he told like the store manager that he was quitting. He's putting in his 2-week notice to quit, which is what I did one time.
Oh, really?
Worked out perfectly.
Hey, man, if you can work that, if you can work the system that way, it's great.
And then like a few months later, I got a Lowe's employee ownership program check for like $100 because I was there like just under a couple of years. So
man,
I was an employee owner.
Wow,
at Lowe's.
Jeez.
God. So that's what Dantonio did that.
Yeah.
Like on a much like a millionaire scale,
much larger scale. There, yeah. It's this program was already sort of in shambles, and it's just going to be worse now. It almost gets to the point to where you got something like, I think when I was thinking about what the fans were thinking about whenever he did this, the only thing I could think of is that they're doing something like this. It's like the whole program is just blowing up, man. It's awful.
Yeah. Ebbs and flows of college football. So now they're going to have their scandal and then go into like the cellar for
a while,
5 years,
yeah.
And then they have to pray somebody can dig them out of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if Fickle, he's their top target, but man,
I don't see him leaving Cincinnati for that. There's just no way. I don't think it just doesn't make sense for him to.
So they interviewed him, went to Cincinnati to interview him, and they haven't hired him.
No,
like they spent the day with him yesterday.
Yeah,
and didn't come to an agreement of anything.
No,
so it's not a good sign.
No, it just doesn't make any sense for him to leave, especially not only with these charges against the players. Once the NCAA finishes their investigation, it's going to be probably like a 2-year ban from the bowls, some loss of scholarships. So it's going to be a tough thing to actually turn around. So
yeah, their athletic director Bill Beekman, he flew to and home from Cincinnati yesterday. No, I'm sorry, just landed. He landed today, just before 2:00, and no Luke Fickle with him.
Yeah, I don't think it's even going to happen. So, in fact, I don't know who they're going to get to step in and coach him. It's probably going to have to come from somebody who is already on the staff.
Narduzzi, former defensive coordinator there.
Yeah,
he's at Pitt, and he publicly put out on his Twitter feed that he was staying, and he did it in the form of The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think I read something like that, but I didn't actually see the tweet.
He had his head on Leo DiCaprio's on Wolf of Wall Street.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
I'm staying. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So
another guy who they tried to get is Mel Tucker, the head coach at Colorado, and he has done the same. I mean, not like that, but he he has also said that he's not going to leave. So
he used a Seinfeld gif.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they are trying to get anybody that they can, and nobody wants to even touch it right now.
I guess Matt Campbell is on their list. He's been on everybody's list, but
he's the Iowa State coach, right?
Yeah. And says, like a report says, that he kind of just quickly rebuffed.
Oh, okay.
Rebuffed overtures. It's like the way they put these, the way they do these headlines, and they write this. He rebuffed overtures. Overtures.
I don't know.
Who says overtures?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody. I don't know. I don't even use that word. I don't think I've ever used that word in my entire life. So.
Overtures. So that's where Michigan State stands.
Yeah, it's bad.
They're fucked. No.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
So yeah, Michigan State's in a rough spot, and no light. I mean, it's going to be a while till they. I mean, they got to find a coach first.
Yeah,
who wants to go through a scandal and
Which is why I said it's probably going to have to come from somebody who is already on the staff.
Their recruiting for this year, for 2020 and 2021, sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't good anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't have the actual scandals, that cupboard is pretty much bare. I mean, in fact, I think it was like what you had texted me earlier in the week. It's not like, Bubba Smith is just going to show up and start playing, defense for him. So
You walking through that door.
Yeah.
They're 10th in the Big Ten. Well, their 2020 class is ranked 10th in the Big Ten.
It's probably only behind like Rutgers and I don't know who else, but yeah.
They're Purdue and Maryland had a better class than and Nebraska.
Nebraska had a better class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they only beat out Northwestern Indiana and Rutgers and Illinois.
Jeez.
Surprised Illinois didn't get a little bit better with Lovey there, but
yeah.
they didn't. Well, they didn't have as many commits. They got a lot of young players.
Oh, okay.
But they only have 13 commits.
Okay.
But yeah, Michigan State had 22 commits and 10th in the Big Ten.
Ugh, 22 commits.
40 something overall.
22 commits, and to be ranked that low. I mean, those have got to be all 3-star, 2-star guys. So
yeah, let's see.
they're plus they had some decent talent there on defense, but they're all leaving. So I mean, there wasn't going to be much there.
This can't be true. Like they don't have any commits for 2021.
Oh,
like zero.
Wow.
Zero.
That is not good at all. Not at all. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they got nothing happening for 2021.
Yeah,
They got some offers out there. So, you get anything on the horizon?
No, they got nothing.
Got
Man.
any prospects? Do you have any reason to get up in the morning?
No.
I like to read the daily news. George Costanza. You got any prospects?
Nope.
Anything on the horizon?
This is about all they got.
Yeah, it's a clown show.
It's awful. Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot. But all seriousness, they got a lot of. They apparently, they've had a lot of culture issues over there for a while, and a lot of people suffered for it.
Yeah.
Just not the football program, so they got to figure that out because apparently, and they also had the gymnast. Doc, the
Larry Nasser.
They had that going on there for years. He was a Michigan State doc. And Ohio State had their
they had their
weirdo doctor.
Yeah, so I mean,
I don't know how far his reach went. He just wasn't on the Olympic.
Yeah, he wasn't on
Olympic
like
doctor.
he wasn't on his
U.S.
Larry Nasser was on like a national scale.
Yeah.
This is, ours is very smaller. It's much smaller, so there's not much else happening. You've got, multiple looks at stuff like this, and Michigan State is just going to be like we've been saying, they're just going to be in the toilet for a long time. So,
Yep. So nowhere to look but for a new coach.
Yeah.
And see what the hell happens after that. So
yeah.
We'll be glad to kick their ass next year.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me. We can just go and circle that one as a win right now.
Yeah, I think we got them at East Lansing. I think it's.
Yeah, because we actually played them. Did we play them? I think we played them here this year.
Yeah, I think it's at East Lansing.
Okay.
Oh shit! Oh, wrong schedule.
That's okay.
Anyway, who cares?
Yeah, doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
it's going to be a win, regardless. So.
Yeah, at Michigan State, October 17th.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be another. We talk about the schedule, like after the spring game. Maybe we'll have something where we talk about the schedule. Maybe more in the summer.
Yeah.
So
that's when we start to get into it a little bit more, in depth. I mean, I think we did a schedule preview like a few episodes back, but we can get into it a little bit more in depth because at that point, rosters are going to be starting to get more set, and things like that. So we can get into a little bit more.
Yep. So, all right. So that's it for this episode. So thanks for listening. Subscribe to us on YouTube or subscribe where you get podcasts, whether it's Google, Apple,
Yeah.
Spotify, Stitcher. They get us on that.
I think we're on Stitcher. I think
where do you get them?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
yeah,
we're on most of all the major platforms.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, and at Beyond Buckeyes on Twitter. If you follow us on Twitter, try our podcast out.
Yeah, and if you do follow us, don't be afraid to leave us comments and suggestions. We had one listener who gave us a couple suggestions that that we could do to maybe clean it up and make it a little bit more tight, and we tried to do that in this episode. Listener by the name of Kelly Powell was nice enough to give us some info, so hopefully that helped, and we'll see where we keep going. So by all means, if you have any suggestions for us, don't be afraid to leave any kind of comments.
Yeah, if you got any ideas for topics, anything that you want to do. I mean, it doesn't have to be like news. It could just be something like history or just something fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Which we'll try to come up with that as we go along here in the off season.
Yeah.
So if you got any ideas, you want to join an episode somehow, maybe we can figure something like that out. Again, we want to try and make this kind of more fan friendly.
Absolutely.
And just be some like journalist, which we're not.
Yeah, we're not even close to journalists. Nowhere near.
Did not go to broadcasting school.
No, so that we did not. This was all off the top of our heads. We have no formal training whatsoever.
Yeah, so, that's it. So thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.